Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Irek Nowak and I'm responsible for ProIDS, working together with Dominik since many years in telco domain. And I would like to pull a line a bit, not pull your leg, but pull a line a bit more regarding what Dominik said about what's happening now in the regular telecommunication. It may be relevant to what I'm going to say. I spent most of my life working in telecommunication sector, first in AT&T and Lucent, later on in Nokia, and most of these years has been dealing with the third-party solutions who has been struggling to get into the telco world. Struggling on many different areas, and right now I would like to stress just one. That means the support of complicated third-party based or even open source based telco solutions, which we are facing right now. And everybody is presenting very nice products, and everybody is showing very complicated schemas. Patrice, just before me, showed this very nice picture of many different vendors. And being an operator, I would have a headache saying how to manage it, okay? So many of them, how to deal with the system that complex, with so many vendors and systems inside. So, let's call it just a new beginning. Why? You will see it, just in the middle. It wasn't yesterday, because yesterday I was here. I saw a film on Saturday, which was brand new, and which was about aliens coming to the Earth, right? And they came to the Earth in many different places. And this is something which really reminds me, or it's very similar to the situation we are having right now in being telco operator. That means many things are happening, and you can see these aliens arrived in so many different countries that you can imagine that almost every country was trying to deal with them in their own way. And we know how different the countries are right now. But also what you can see in here, it's an American way, say, but most of them, they were dealing just, we don't know what to do. Okay, it's very difficult. So let's use our best resources, most of the resources, that means the army. This is like the war, okay? And quite often in telco world, we see very similar approach. Everybody is afraid of open source, complex solutions, or even third-party based solutions in the regular telco, because it seems for the established businesses like sort of, struggle. That's why we are here to show that it can be different. Okay, this is the same. So these aliens try to communicate with every country separately. That's what I said, with different results. And this is precisely, it's like something we can see in the telco world, especially with the open source systems being introduced right now. Why I called you New Beginning? The original title is Arriving, but in Poland, Polish translation, it's just, this film is called New Beginning. So I thought maybe it's better title for what's going on right now in telecommunication. Okay, being more specific, currently in every mobile operator or MVNO, there are many vendors with many products and with many SLAs. SLA, I mean not only just times and answers, but more broader. So different contracts, support contracts, different support channels, different KPIs, different say, approach to support. Concentrating on the open source, we see that many of them are providing just best effort support, which is most often not good enough. They are looking for contribution because that's how the model works. If it's open, then somebody must fix the problems. Somebody must develop new services, so somebody must contribute. Let's imagine big operators and people are contributing, how individually or as a party, very difficult here. Not saying about different channels and interactions. Some of the open sources, although they have good products, they don't have, you know, very well established communication channels, support desks, etc., which is very important. And again, big country, big country, I mean this alliance, big operator likes to have things as simple as possible. They have people, they have skills, but they must, you know, take them together. It costs, it lasts. It's like a mobilization of the army against the alliance. This is precisely not the way we are going to propose. So let's replace this with what? Okay, not precisely that one. I have the mobile phone and Windows mobile phone, and maybe I will not have another one, but basically that's the idea. So our goal is to identify some of them, some of the disadvantages. So like lack of telco-grade SLA, no end-to-end support for the whole solution. Everybody is just looking for their own product, that's it. Lack of SLA uniformity, that's what I already mentioned. Many different channels to report problems, to receive bug fixes. Very difficult to test end-to-end solution. And many more, but just for the readability of the slide, let's concentrate. Let's see only 3. And there are solutions for this. So if there are different SLA, let's have the partner who will cover the difference, okay? Who will propose telco-grade SLA with emergency support 24/7 with guaranteed times. If there is so many products constituting your solution, let's have a partner who will provide end-to-end support for the whole solution. And if there is need to contribute, to play with all this open source, let's do this to the partner. Let's leave it to the partner. So the operator will concentrate on the core business, and all this stuff can be done by somebody else. Now we are going just a bit more detailed. Here is the customer, and usually the customer, they have like a local support always. Somebody is doing looking at the operation of the network, and they have also so-called emergency call center. In case of something going on at night, there are dedicated people who can react. And this is usually called tier 1 of the support. But there are at least 3 more tiers in the standard support model. Tier 2, which is the most important, is solution support, end-to-end. This is where most of the cases are solved. 80% from what I remember from, you know, Nokia, etc. In here, there is software support, that means software bugs fixing, and handling the third parties. Again, Capgemini say, open up to the third-party innovations. Fully agree, but somebody must do it, okay? Somebody must do it for the operator. Otherwise, operator will be overflowed by all these third parties. So, the end-to-end support, which is here, I think is the crucial thing for right now for the operators to concentrate on the core business. Because, as you can see, if they will have only third parties, there is a huge gap in between. Somebody must fill in the gap here. So, this is, if there is a, for example, trouble resolution, there is a fix being to be done, then there is a on tier 2 solution support, so some major support team who is analyzing the problem, finding it, is it maybe here, or maybe it's here, or maybe somewhere else, and then reacts properly. It's only one interface to the customer, and there are many interfaces in here, but everything goes very straight to the customer. Precisely the same for the emergency flow. In case there is emergency flow, there is emergency rota contacting these customers. Maybe some of them, they don't have 24/7. That's okay. Here we are. We can always restart the system. Usually helps, right? But sometimes it's more than that. These teams are the same teams working together, working on the same products for many customers. So we have synergy, we have the knowledge, and we can provide the service what the operator needs. And of course, there are many, many different things, small ones, but very important. Non-production support, test bed. Okay, we need to test the solution somewhere before applying. For performance, for bugs, etc. We need to build it sometimes. We need to allow somebody else maybe to build it on the in the control environment. We are talking about openness to the third party. Maybe some third party is going to use the same environment for creation. It must be the same. Not everyone is different, because then we will have this famous 80 statement. Well, it's working on my PC, okay. Yeah, that's the point. And we can add up many different things here, like hardware support, Amazon Cloud, whatever is here. So many, many different parties going to cooperate after the project, after the product is sold. In here, it's just very concise form about what I said. So I will not repeat myself. You can read it, unless there is just one thing more in here, that according to us, to be able to provide this kind of service, so support solutions from different vendors, we need to find out some kind of validation process who will check the quality of the products we are going to support. So this is some quite complex process. I put it here. I will not elaborate, but just 2 slides at the end. Okay, and this is right now just an example, just for you to see where are the differences. Here we have like a standard big companies, big vendors, big operators, SLA, so emergency, trouble resolution, and say technical query, like standard issues which can appear. And in here, the action. So in here, we need to say, okay, we received the problem, and this is time to restore, usually hours. In here, we say, okay, we received the problem, and we provide workaround. And the final solution will be later on, because sometimes it requires bug fix, right? It's not like that, must be tested and so on. The same approach to different priorities. So what usually telco operator wants is this, right? Okay, it's the most highest we have right now. I put it by purpose. It may be 8 hours or 6, right? It can be maybe 5 days. But it's still this kind of requirements here which are needed. Confirmation and ongoing work and status meeting with the customer, etc. No, any single party can do that. And in here is just example open source approach. They have great products. They have great, very smart people. But on the other hand, sometimes in this area, it's good to have this difference coverage, right? It's maybe not always like that, because there are many open sources, but it's similar. We do believe in open source. We do believe in, like Dominic said, we can build a system, but we do believe that for the system to work for years, it needs to have a bit more than just the hardware and the stuff. Okay, very quickly, validation. If we are going to support something, then we need to check it. So validation is a service which validates the services developed by somebody else. The output is the report who is saying the service is good enough because it's built according to the standards. The standards are defined together with the customer, quality, tools, metrics, KPIs. So the customer opening up to the third parties can have the same quality regardless who the third party is. And then there is one single point of contact being still responsible for that. Validation, just two phases, say, simple. Code validation, that means if the code is built properly. We saw many times that the code is just copied. We saw many times in open source that there are code owned by somebody else, just included there. This is something somebody needs to check. And then service performance. So does it really brings 500 cups as is said? Almost done. This is basically what I said in the timeline. So this service doesn't bring additional extension of the project. It is consistent with the normal software development process. And I think that's it, suddenly.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.